Hello students, today I am here to discuss 2017 O-Level exam paper. So this is paper 1 and 32 means the mathematics number. E is English paper 1 and 2 hours. In this paper you know already you get two parts, part A and part B. Part A 25 short questions and part B 5 long questions. And what are the important things that you need to remember? So first thing you have to write your index number and here read this instructions. It says it consists of 8 pages and write your index number correctly in the appropriate place on this page and page 3. Answer all questions on this question paper itself. Use the space provided under each question for working and writing the answer. So you can't ask for line papers. And also indicate the relevant steps and the correct units when answering the questions. So what about marks? Part A, each question worth 2 marks and part B, 10 marks. So when it comes to time, you have to divide 1 hour for part A, 1 hour for part B. So that means each question in part A you can spend 2 minutes and 24 seconds and in part B 12 minutes per question. So first you do it and then check with my answers. So let's do paper 1 now. So part A, answer all questions on this paper itself. So try 1 to 7 and I'll do separately. Question number 1. A person deposits an amount of 1000 rupees in a bank at an annual simple interest rate of 8%. How much interest does he get for this amount at the end of the first year? So just they're asking to calculate the interest. So you don't need to write down anything, just calculate the value. 1000 into 8%, 8 over 100. So 2 zeros get cancelled out. 8 into 10, 80 rupees. So you get marks. If the answer is there, you get 2 marks. But only this step is there, just 1 mark. So 1 and 1. You can write down the answer at once. If the answer is wrong, what happens? You are not getting a single mark. So it's better to write down the method at least to get half of the marks. Question number 2. A vehicle travels at a uniform speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Find the time in hours that the vehicle takes to travel a distance of 120 kilometers. So 30 kilometers, it takes 1 hour. They are asking if this is 120 kilometers, how many hours taken? So 1 over 30 into 120. So 0 get cancelled out, 3 with this you get 4. So 4 hours. So how you get marks? 1 mark for this and 1 mark for the answer. Express in logarithm form, 3 to the power 4 is 81. So you know already if this is 10 squared is 100. How you write in log notation? Log, base goes there and the number 100 is equal to the index. So using that method. So here 10 squared is 100. So you can straight away write down what's the base? Base 3. And the number is 81 and the index is 4. So 2 marks. Simplify. So this is algebraic fraction. So you have to find the lowest common multiple. So what's lowest common multiple of 2x and 4x? That's 4x. Convert to 4x. So that means multiply this by 2. 2 times 1, 2. And you can write this one as it is. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 over 4x. So 2 marks 1 here and 1 here. Question number 5. Find the magnitude of DBC. DBC is here. Using the information given in the figure. So to this triangle, this is the exterior angle. So what is exterior angle? Sum of interior angles, opposite interior angles. So CBD, or we can write DBC plus 90 degrees, this is 90, is equal to 120. So what's DBC angle? 120 minus 90. So 30 degrees. 1 mark for the answer and 1 mark for the method. Question number 6. It has been estimated that 10 men will require 8 days to complete a certain task. So men and days. 10 men, 8 days. So how many man days required to complete the work? Man days. That's 8 times 10. 80. How many men should be engaged to complete this task in 5 days? So same number of man days. So how you find out number of men? You have to divide by 5. So 5 times 1, 5. For 30, that's 6. 16 men needed. So how many men should be engaged to complete this task in 5 days? 16 men. So you get 1 mark for the answer and 1 mark for the method. Question number 7. Find the least common multiple of 2 algebraic expressions, 2xy and 4y square. So here you can write 2 times x times y here. 4 you can write 2 times 2, 2 to the power 2 and y squared. So when you are finding lowest common multiple, you take the maximum power. So when you take 2, 2 to the power 2 is the maximum power, x is just 1 and y maximum power is power 2. So what's the lowest common multiple? 4x y squared. So 1 mark here and 1 mark just to find out the factors. Now you can try question number 8 to 15. Question number 8. From the value given below, select the first approximation of root 32. So how you do that? So you find out the closest square numbers. So what's the closest square number? 5 times 5, 25. And what's the other number? 6 times 6, 36. So square root 36. So 32 is in between 25 and 36. So what's the square root of 25? That's 5. Square root of 36 is 6. So this number is in between 5 and 6. So what's the easiest way to find out the number? So all are 5s. So that means it's difficult to identify at once. So we'll take the difference here to here. 36 and 25, what's the difference? So you get 11. this difference, you get 7. So what's the number? 5 and 7 over 11. So roughly how much? 5.11 times here for 70, that's 6, 66 and 4 remaining. 40, you get 3 like. So here you don't need the other numbers, just close to 5.6. Which number? Not 5.9. So 5.7 is the closest value. So you can select 5.7. And what's the other easiest way to find out? You can find out the difference here, 32 and 36, 4. Now which one is closer, this difference or this difference? Here 4 is the smaller value. So that means this number should be closer to 6 but not closer to 5. So that means 5.5 is the middle value. So this number should be greater than 5.5 and not very close to 6, not 5.9. So you can select 5.7 as well. So you don't have to show the workings. You can just find out the rough value like this. So selecting the value, you get 2 marks. Question number 9. Find the value of cos theta using the information given in the figure. Can you remember the trigonometric ratios? SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. That means sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse and tan is opposite over adjacent. So here we need cos ratio. Cosine ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse. So to this angle, this is adjacent and this is the hypotenuse. Always hypotenuse is the opposite angle to 90 degrees. So what's the cos theta value? Cos theta equals 3 over 5. So 2 marks for that. Question number 10. If A and B are two sets such that NA is 5, NB is 7 and the union NA union B is 10, find the value of A intersection B. So how can we find out? Can you remember the equation? Number of elements in the union is equal to number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. Then we need that value. So when you take that one to this side, intersection, you can say NA plus NB minus NA union B. Now you can just substitute the values 5, 7 and 10. 12 minus 10, that's 2. Or you can just draw the Venn diagram and identify the number as well. If you are drawing the Venn diagram, NA is 5, so you write 5 here. NB is 7 and the union is 10 means here if this is X or something, or just you add these two numbers, 7 plus 5 and 10 is the union, so the difference 12 minus 10 is 2 is always in the intersection. So that means this is 3 and this is 5. The union 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 you are getting. So that way also possible. So you get anyway 2 marks. 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Factorize. So making brackets. So you can write as difference between two square terms. 36 as 6 squared. So if you have a squared minus b squared, what are the factors? One factor is positive, other factor is negative. We call it difference between two square terms. So what are the factors? X minus 6 and x plus 6. So if both factors are correct, you get 2 marks. If one is correct, only 1 mark. Question number 12. In a lottery which issued only 100 lottery tickets, 35 lottery tickets were bought by females and the rest were bought by males. If only one winner is selected in the lottery draw, what is the probability of the winner being a male? So 100 altogether, 35 females. How many males are there? How many males? So you get 65 males. So what is the chance of winning the lottery? So that's the same as probability of getting male person. So probability of winning by male is equal to 65 out of altogether 100. You can divide by 5 and write 5 times 1. 5, that's 3. 5 times 20. 13 over 20 is the simplified form. So you get 2 marks for writing down the correct probability. Question number 13. AB is the diameter of the circle with center O. The point C lies on the circle. If AB is 10, diameter is 10, and CB is 6 centimeters, find AC. So what's the rule? We know semicircle angles are 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees because AB is the diameter. So straight away you can use Pythagoras theorem. AC squared is equal to, hypotenuse is 10, so 10 squared minus 6 squared. 10 into 10, 100, 6 into 6, 36. When you subtract, you get 64. So 64 means 8 into 8, 8 squared. So what is AC? AC is equal to 8 centimeters. So 2 marks, 1 mark for using Pythagoras theorem and 1 mark here. Question number 14. Product is equal to 0. How you find out the solutions? X plus 2 and x minus 1 is 0. You already know when there are two products A into B is 0. That means either A should be equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So using that, these are the two factors. So that means x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So what's the x value? Take plus 2 to the other side, minus 2. Here you get x equals 1. So 2 solutions, you get 2 marks, 1 for each. 1 mark here and 1 mark. Question number 15. Write the pair of triangles that are congruent from the triangles given in the figure. And from the following cases 1, 2 and 3, select and underline the case you use to identify this pair. Look at carefully. If you take ABC, 61, 62. So that's 2, 1, 3, 123. When you subtract from 180, you get the other angle. So you get 7, 5. So 57 here. This is also 61, 62. This is 57. This is also 57. Now look at carefully. When you take ACB and BCD triangle, opposite to 57 degree, this is this length, and opposite to this one, so that's a common length. And two angles are there, so that's congruent. So what is the case? Two angles and one side. But check whether these are congruent. This is the common length. Common length is here opposite to 62. But for this triangle, that's not opposite to 62. That's opposite to 57. So that means BCD and BED are not congruent. So what are the triangles congruent? ABC triangle and ABC and BCD. What's the case? Angle, angle and side. So this is the correct answer. So 1 mark for identifying the case and 1 mark for identifying the correct triangles. Now you can try question number 16 to 20. Question number 16. A frequency distribution prepared using the marks obtained by the students of a test is given below. Using the information in the frequency distribution, complete the given incomplete histogram. So only first bar is given, 0 to 5. That's 3. Now look at the width of the intervals. 0 to 5, the width is 5. 5 to 10 also width is 5. But 10 to 20, width is 10. So that means you have to divide by 5 here. You get 1, 1 and 2. So that means the frequency becomes 10 divided by 2, 5 here, 5 each. So now we can draw the histogram. So 10 is there, 5 to 10, that's 10. So you can draw the other bar easily. This is 10. So this is the other bar. That's easy. But make sure 10 to 20 is not 10. That's 5 and 5. So this bar you have to draw. 5 and 5. So that's the second bar. So you are getting marks for drawing this bar and this bar correctly. 2 marks. Question number 17. In the figure, XY is a chord of the circle with center O. The point Z lies on XY as shown in the figure. So drawn a perpendicular from the center. If it is correct, mark correct sign, and if it is incorrect, mark cross sign in the box in front of it. According to the theorem, we know when you draw a perpendicular to the chord from the center, this divides equally. So XY is equal to 2XC. That's correct. If this is A or X, this is X. So XY becomes 2XC. That's correct. XOY. XOY is 2 times XOZ. So we can see this is equal to this one, the radius, and these two triangles are congruent. when the two triangles are congruent, this angle is equal to this angle. So that means double of this angle is the full XOY angle. That's also correct. So you get 1 mark for each. Question number 18. In the figure AB denotes a lighthouse and P and Q denotes two small boats. A person in boat P observes the top B of the lighthouse with an angle of elevation 30 degrees. So we can draw this line and write this is 30 degrees. A person at B observes the boat Q with an angle of depression 20 degrees. That means here to here. Angle of depression means from the horizontal line here downwards. So this angle is given 20 degrees to this point. Represent this information in the given figure. Disregard the height of the observer. So here we are not considering the height. So this is the diagram. So marks given for marking this one and this one. Question number 19. The matrices A and B are given as this. Find matrix AB, multiplication. So before you start multiply A and B, you have to check whether you can multiply. -2 and 2 is 2 rows and 1 column. 2 times 1. B, -1, 2. 1 row and 2 columns. Now check 2 times 1 and 1 times 2. We can multiply because number of columns in the first one is same as the number of rows in the second matrix. So what's the final one? 2 by 2 matrix. So 2 by 2 matrix is AB. So what are the values? First row, first column. -2 times -1, that's 2. First row, second column, -2 times 2, -4, you get here. Second row, first column, that's -2. Second row, second column, +4. So that's the AB matrix. That's 2 by 2 matrix. So you get full 2 marks for correct elements. Question number 20. In the given figure, P, Q and R are 3 points that lie on the circle with center O. Find the value of X using the information given in the figure. So look at carefully. This is the center. So we need this one. So there are 2 ways to do that. So here if you think about the angles bisect at the center and the circumference, if you take this one PR, this is the angle subtended at on the circumference, and to this one, this is the angle subtended at the center. Now, what's the relationship? If this is 110, this should be double. 110 times 2, 220. If this is 220, what is X value? X is 360 minus 220. 0, 4, 1, 140 degrees. So that's one way of doing that. What's the other way of doing that? So we can find out. Now look at carefully. Here we know this is 110. If there's a point here, this is a cyclic quadrilateral. So this is 110 means this angle is 70. 180 minus 110, that's 70 degrees. That's the angle subtended on the circumference. And here, this one is the angle subtended at the center. So that should be double. 70 times 2, that's x. That way also possible. 70 times 2, 140. So 2 marks. 1 mark and 1 mark for the method. Now you can try 21 to 25. A sector of a circle with center L is given in the figure. Draw a sketch of the construction lines that are necessary to find the point on the arc MN, which is at an equal distance from the line LM and LN. So what are the loci points you need to know? Equidistance from a point is a circle. Then equidistance from 2 points is the perpendicular bisector. Equidistance from 2 lines is the angle bisector, and equidistance from a line is 2 parallel lines up and down. So we have to do this one. Third one, angle bisector. So take the compass. How you draw the angle bisector? You take certain length, draw an arc here and here. And then you keep the compass on top of this point, draw an arc in the middle here and here, again arc in the middle so that you get the intersecting point. Now you can take the ruler and connect the intersecting point where it cuts the LM arc is the point. That's the point we need. So this is the angle bisector. So that's what you have to construct. So you get 1 mark for marking the correct position and the angle bisector 1 mark. Question number 22. If the volume of a right circular cylinder of height 7 meters is 88 cubic meters. So volume of the circular cylinder. If you take a cylinder like this, height is 7 meters. And what's the volume? 88. Find the base radius of the cylinder in meters. So that's R. And what's the formula? Pi r squared, h is the volume. So pi 22 over 7 r squared, h is 7, that's equal to 88. Now 7 get cancelled out. R squared is 88 over 22. That's 4. So what's 4 means? 2 squared. So what is R value? R equals 2. We are not taking the negative value. 4 is minus 2 times minus 2 also possible, but length cannot be negative. So you only take the positive value. So 2 meters. So you get 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Question number 23. In the given figure, the point D lies on the straight line segment AE. If the area of the parallelogram ABCD is 1 square centimeters, find the area of triangle ACE. using the given information. So look at carefully the parallelogram. AC is the diagonal. So when it comes to the area of ABC and ACD, both are equal. Equally divides. You know, the diagonal bisect the area. If this is 1 square centimeters, what's the area of ADC triangle? That's half square centimeters because the diagonal bisect the area. So this area is half. And now look at BDEC rectangle. Now look at BDEC parallelogram. So opposite sides are parallel means this is a parallelogram. So CD is the diagonal of that. So this area is same as this area. And also now we know that what is BDC area? BDC area. That's also half. So this is also half because BD is the diagonal. And this area is same as this because this divides equally. So this becomes half centimeter squared. So you can write CDE triangle is also half square centimeters. Now we need ACE. ACE triangle means ACE triangle is ACD area, ACD area and CDE area. So this is half and this is half. You get 1 square centimeters. So they are asking what's the area of ACE? 1 square centimeters. So you get 2 marks. 1 mark here and 1 mark for the method. Question number 24. In the given figure, KLMN is a cyclic quadrilateral. The line KN has been produced to P. Find the value of X using the given information. Now look at carefully. This is the exterior angle of the cyclic quadrilateral. According to the theorem, this should be equal to the opposite interior angle. So this is X, this is X. Then you can use the KLM triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So what's X? X becomes 180 minus the sum here. You get 10 and 6. So 180 minus 60, 120 degrees. That's the X value. So you don't have to write down theorems, everything, because you get only 2 marks. They are looking at the answer, and if there's method, you get the other mark. If the answer is correct straight away, you get 2 marks without the method. But you need to write down the method. What happens if the answer is wrong? You are not getting any single mark. So the last question in part A, find the gradient of the straight line which passes through the point A and B in the figure. So what's the gradient? What's the formula? If m is the gradient, so we take the difference between y coordinates over difference between x coordinates. So either you can use this way or other way around, y1 minus y2, then this becomes x1 minus x2. So take the difference. We'll take first one as this one, 3 minus 0 over 0 minus 2. So you get 3 over minus 2. So you can write minus 3 over 2, or you can write minus 1.5, minus 1.5, anything. So you get 2 marks for that. 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. So that's the last question of part A. And now we'll look at part B. Now you can try part B. So you get 5 long questions and each question worth 10 marks. And I can show you according to the marking scheme how you get marks for each step. And also you can spend 12 minutes per question. So let's do question number 1 and 2. So you get 4 parts in the first one. So we'll do separately each part. A household water tank is completely filled with water. 1 over 10 of the water in the tank is used to water the garden and 1/4 is used for bathing. Find what fraction of the water in the tank is used to water the garden and for bathing. So this is just addition of the two fractions, 1 over 10 and 1 over 4. What's the lowest common multiple of 10 and 4? That's 20. Multiply this by 2 and this by 5. So 5 plus 2, 7 over 20. Then of the remaining water in the tank, 4/13 is used to wash clothes. Find what fraction of the water in the completely filled tank is used to wash clothes. So what's the remaining part? Remaining part is 1 minus 7 over 20. That means 20 minus 7 over 20, you get 13 over 20. From the remaining part, 4/13 used for wash clothes. So wash clothes is 13/20. From that, 4 over 30. So 13 get cancelled out and 4 with 1 and 5. So from the whole part, that's 1 over 5 used to wash clothes. So that's the second part. Now next one. Find what fraction of the tank remains filled now. So we know 7 over 20 used there to water the garden and bathing, and 1/5 used for wash clothes. So we'll add those two and find out the remaining part. So first used amount, used part, we know 7 over 20 plus 1 over 5. Lowest common multiple is 20. So 4 times 1 is 4. So 11 over 20. So now we have to find out the remaining part. So remains filled now. So this is used. So the remaining part is 1 minus 11 over 20. So 20 minus 11 over 20, that's 9 over 20. When another 500 liters of water is used for kitchen requirements, 1/4 of the tank remains filled. Find the capacity of the tank in liters. Now it says if 1/4 of the tank remains filled after using 500 liters. So we need to find out the capacity of the tank in liters. So what is the fraction used for this? So we need to find out when 1/4 is remaining. So what is the used amount, used part for kitchen purposes? So here remaining part is this 9/20 and subtract 1/4 from that. So you get 20 as the lowest common multiple, and here 5 is there. 9 minus 5, 4/20, or 4 times 5. 1/5 is used for kitchen purposes. So that means that's the used one. 1/5 means 500 liters. So what is the capacity of the tank? Capacity becomes 500 into 5. That's 2500 liters is the capacity of the tank. That's the fourth part of this question, and now we'll see how you get 10 marks. So we'll take a look at the first part. So you are getting 1/10 and 1/4 addition, showing that it is adding 1 mark, and for the answer 1 mark. So 2 marks for first part. And the next one, so finding the remaining part, 13/20, 1 mark, and then calculating this part, 1 mark and 1 mark for the answer. Altogether 3 marks there. Then the third part, you are getting finding used part, that's 11/20, 1 mark, and remaining, find the remaining part here, that's 1. So this is used one, so this is remaining part, means the water level. And the last part, that's 2. Last part, you get 3 marks. So subtracting these two, 1 mark, finding 1/5, that's 500, 1 mark, capacity 2500, 1 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how you get 10 marks for the question number 1. Now we'll do question number 2. So question number 2 also you get 4 parts. So we'll try to do those. The given figure is a sketch of a garden consisting of a rectangular part A, B, D, E and a part B, C, D in the shape of a sector of a circle with angle at the center 45 degrees. Here BD equals 14 meters. Use 22/7 for the value of pi in the following calculations. Find the area of part BCD. Area of the sector. How you find out the area of the sector? Angle 45 divided by 360 into pi 22/7 into r squared. 14 times 14. So 7 times 2. And here how many 45s? For 360. That's 8. 1 times 8. Now you can divide by 2. 2 times here 4. Again divide by 2. This becomes 11. Divide by 2 again here. You get 7. 11 times 7. 77 square meters. This is about an area. The area of the part ABD ABDE is 4 times the area of the part BCD. So that means this is 77 times 4. Find the length of AB. That's a rectangle. So length of AB into 14 is equal to 77 into 4. So what is AB? 77 into 4 divided by 14. 7 times 2, 7 times 11, 2 times 2. So 11 times 2, 22 meters. So that's becomes the length of the rectangle, 22 meters. Take the third part, find the length of the arc DC. So how you find out the length of an arc? Angle divided by 360 into 2 pi r. 2 into pi is 22 over 7. R is 14. So we know this is 8 times. 7 times 2. 2 and 2, 4. 4 with 8, that's 2. And 2 with this 22, that's 11. So 11 meters is the arc length DC. Find the perimeter of the garden. How you find out the perimeter of the garden? Outer length. So this is 22, 22, 14 and DC. That's 11. And what is this one? This is the radius, 14. So what's the perimeter? Perimeter is equal to 14 times 2, 22 times 2 and 11. You get 28, 44 and 11. 12 plus 1, 13, 1 remaining, 3 plus 4, 7 and 1, 8. So the perimeter of this figure is 83 meters. Now we'll see how you get marks. So the first part, you get 77 square meters. So this method, 1 and another 1 mark. And for the answer, another 1 mark. So 3 marks. So here, if the units are not there, they are deducting 1 mark. So make sure that you write the units properly. And 22. So another 3 marks. So finding this area is 4 times that, 1 mark. And using this formula, 1 mark here, finding 22 is 1 mark. So 3 marks for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one 11. So just 2 marks, 1 and 1. And finding the perimeter 83, you get the addition 1 mark and the answer 1 mark. So 4 and 6 before, altogether 10 marks for this question. Now you can try question number 3 and 4. Question number 3, 4 parts again. Varuna owned 100 shares of company A. At the beginning of financial year, he sold 40 of these shares at 210 rupees per share. Find the amount of money Varuna received by selling 40 shares of company A. So, money received. $40 shares, each with 210 rupees. 2 zeros, 4 times 1, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8,400. Then Varuna bought a certain number of shares of company B at 240 rupees per share at the beginning of the same financial year. By investing the total amount he received by selling 40 shares of company A. Find how many shares of company B Varuna bought. So the amount of money received from selling 40 shares is 8,400. So what's the price of a share? 240. So you can find out number of shares is 8,400 and divide by 240. So here 0, 0 get cancelled out. Divide by 4. This is 6 and 210. So 6 times 3, 18. For 30, that's 5. So 35 shares from company B. So we'll see how many marks for these two steps. So 8,400. Here 1 mark here for the method and answer 1 mark. And the second one, number of shares. So 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. So altogether 4 marks here. At the end of financial year, company A paid 15 rupees per share and company B paid 18 rupees per share as dividends. Find the total dividend income he received from company A and B. So total dividend income from company A, 15 rupees per share. So 15. How many shares in company A? Now already from 100, 40 sold and bought 35 shares from company B. So 100 minus 40, that's 60 shares now remaining in company A. And 35 shares now in company B, because we found from the previous answer, and that's 18 rupees per share. So 35 times 18. Now we need to multiply these two. So 0, 6 times 5, 30, 6 times 1, 6 plus 3, 9. 35 and 18. 30 and 5. 540 and here 4 and 9. 630. So total is 3,530 rupees. Find the additional dividend income he receives at the end of the financial year due to selling 40 shares of company A and buying shares of company B without keeping all the shares of company A with him. So if he keeps everything without selling 40, what's the amount he receives? Amount receive without selling. Altogether 100 shares and each one 15 rupees. So 1,500 rupees. But what happens? He sold 40 out of that and bought shares from company B and got 1,530 rupees. So what is the additional dividend income? The difference. Additional dividend income is the difference between these two. 1,530 minus 1,500. Just 30 rupees is the extra income. Now we'll see how you get marks for these two steps. $60 into 15, 1 mark. 1 mark. 18 into 35, 1 mark. And getting the correct answer, 1 mark. So 3 marks there. And amount received without selling, you get 1,501 mark. And take the difference, 1 mark, and 30 rupees, 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 4, 10 marks for this question. Now we'll see how we do the next one. Question number 4. So here also you get 4 parts. Each student in grade 6 of a certain school had to select exactly one of the 3 subjects, art, dancing and music, as the aesthetic subject. How the students select these subjects is given below. You can see mostly music, then dancing and then art. The number of students who selected dancing is 3 times the number of students who selected art. If this is x, this is 3x. The number of students who selected music is 5 times the number of students who selected art. So if this is x, this is 5x. Write the number of students who selected art as a fraction of the total number of students. So if you are dividing this one, what's the ratio? You can use using ratio or just as a fraction. So you can take art is 1, dancing is 3 and music is 5. 1 to 3 to 5 ratio. So they are asking what's the fraction who selected art. That means 1 out of 5 plus 3, 8 plus 1. Total number of parts, 9. So 1 over 9. Or you can do altogether 5x, 3x, x, 9x. And out of that, x part for art. X get cancelled out. You get finally 1 over 9. Calculate the magnitude of the angles at the centers of the sectors corresponding to 3 subjects and write them on the relevant dotted lines in the given pie chart. So altogether the angle around this is 360. So 360 you have to divide by 9 parts. So that's, and 1 part for art. So art, what's the angle? 9 times 4. So 40 degrees is arts. So this is 40. Then for dancing, 3 parts of that. 40 times 3. 120 degrees. And then for music, 5 parts of 40, 5x, 200 degrees. So those are the 3 answers. Now we'll see how you get marks for these 2 steps using ratio or any method. So method mark and the answer 1 mark, altogether 2. Finding this one 41 mark, finding 121 mark and 201 mark. And showing correctly on the pie chart, that's 1 mark. Now we'll take next part. If the number of students who selected art is 30, Find the total number of students in grade 6 of this school. So we know 1 over 9 parts is 30. So altogether, how many students are there? 9 parts. So total number is 30 into 9. So 270 students are there. After 2 weeks, 15 of the students who had selected music changed their subject to art. So 15 students, music to art. Find the angle at the center of the sector corresponding to the subject art in a new pie chart consisting of all 3 subjects that is drawn based on the changed data. So you need to find out the new angle now. So 15 extra. So earlier how many students? Earlier 30. So you can use with the number of students. Now 15 plus 30. Now 45 students. 45 students. So how you find out the new angle? 45 over 270. That's also possible. Into 360 degrees. So you get 9 times 3, 9 times 4, 3 times 15. So 15 times 4. And the new angle becomes 60 degrees. So this is one method. Or you can find out what is the new angle, 15 over 270, and add it to the previous angle, 40. That's also possible. But they are asking what is the new angle now for art. So new angle for art is 60 degrees. Now let's look at the marking scheme and see. You get 270 students, that's 2 marks, 1 here, 1 here. And then when you look at the last part, so 60 is the final answer. So you are getting 2 marks, 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the angle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for this question. Now you can try question number 5. That's the last question in paper 1, and this is part B. A box contains 5 bulbs which are identical in shape and size. Of these, 2 are burnt out bulbs and the rest are good bulbs. A bulb is drawn randomly from the box and examined, and without replacing the bulb, another bulb is drawn randomly from the box and examined. So now using the symbol cross sign represent the sample space of the experiment of drawing bulbs in the given grade. The burnt out bulbs are denoted by B1 and B2, and the good bulbs are denoted by G1, G2 and G3. 3 good ones and 2 burnt ones. So when you select B1, you can't take B1 again. So this is B2 and you can take good one. If this is B2 selected, you can't take B2 again. So this is not possible. B2 again, not possible. If it's G1, good one, you can't take that one again. And if it's G2, you can't take G2 again. And last one, good one, G3, good one. Here, you can't take the same thing again. So this is the sample space diagram. Now we'll look at second part. In the grid, encircle the event of drawing at least one burnt out bulb and find its probability. So at least one burnt means either one or both. So here this is B1, it can be both or this one. So I'll encircle that so you can get all these possibilities. B2, all these are okay. B2 here, this one. If it's G1, it can be burnt one or not. You can't take this part. Good ones with good ones. So this is the correct sample space. So here, this is the possible outcomes. One burnt bulb or both burnt. So what's the probability? So we'll find out the probability. Probability of A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bulbs are there. And out of 4 times 5, altogether 20. So divide by 2, 7 over 10. So that's the probability. Now we'll see how you get marks for this. So according to the marking scheme, so you get 2 marks for the sample space diagram and showing this A, 1 mark here, and calculating the probability, 1 mark. So 4 marks for this step. Now we'll take a look at the next one. An incomplete tree diagram relevant to the above experiment is given below. Complete the tree diagram by indicating the corresponding probabilities. A burnt out bulb is denoted by B and a good bulb is denoted by G. So 3 good ones and burnt ones 2. So this is 2 over 5. So second time, you are not replacing this now. So 3 over 5, this becomes 4 and 2. And what's the probability of getting a burnt one? That's 2 over 4. What about the other one? Burnt one already taken. Then this becomes here 1 over 4. So the good one is, this is 1/4. So this becomes 3/4. So using the tree diagram, find the probability that exactly one of the 2 bulbs that are drawn in this experiment is burnt out. Using the tree diagram. So find the probability that exactly one of the 2 bulbs that are drawn in the experiment is burnt. So that means you can take good one with a burnt one second time, or first take the burnt one and then the second one should be good one, because only one burnt one. So what is good one with burnt one? So that's this path, 3/5 into 2/4. First one, burnt one and good one, 2/5 with 3/4. Now try to simplify. You can write, this is 2 times 2 here, here. This is also, you can simplify. So 3 over 10 and 3 over 10. That becomes 6 over 10, or you can simplify, divide by 2, 3 over 5. So that's the probability. So now let's see how you get marks here. According to the marking scheme, it says 3 marks to complete the tree diagram. 3 marks for this. And finding the final answer, 3/5. So 2 possibilities here. Selecting 2 possibilities, 1 and 1. And final answer, 1 mark. So that's the last part of paper 1. So here check whether you got all 10 marks. 1, 2, 3, 6 and here 4 all together. So 10 marks for this question. So we completed paper 1 2017 O-level examination.